You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
And we begin with a weather impact alert with more rain falling this morning. We do have some video from Chula Vista where you can see there's some of the wet roads out there and the rain falling right now. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. on this wet start to your Tuesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Chris Groh. We know obviously a lot of people want to know what their plans are for the week here, whether or not the rain's going to impact that. So let's turn things over to meteorologist Evan Arani. And Evan, already a wet start.
Already a wet start, yes. Early this morning, about 4 a.m., we started to see kind of the first rounds of rain arrive on shore. We get a little bit of a break in that showers are going to be less intense from about now through noon, and then we'll pick up in intensity again afternoon, just in time for the evening commute. That's where we could start to see some trouble out there on the roads with that rain coming down with pretty decent intensity. Satellite radar showing how widespread this is from San Luis Obispo all the way down through San Diego, moving from mainly south to north. There's a bit of a westerly component there. So what we're going to be watching for over the next several days is wet weather in the future. This storm lingers through Wednesday. Another storm arrives Thursday. Remember, for the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go, you can download our free CBS 8 app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Evan. This morning, the County Board of Supervisors will vote on whether to overturn a recently implemented sanctuary policy.
Now, that policy limits cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities and has local leaders divided. CBS 8's Regina Yerita live outside the County Administration Building where that meeting is going to take place here at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, that's correct. Good morning, Eric and Chris. And actually, this sanctuary policy was passed back in December with a 3-to-1 vote, and it essentially restricts county resources for federal immigration authorities. Now, the policy is back on the agenda this morning. Like you said, around 9 a.m., they will be having a discussion, and that's because Supervisor Jim Desmond wants to overturn this policy. Take a listen.
Only the people in jail that have been tried, convicted, and sentenced, and then we let ICE know that they're here. And so this is not about any mass deportations or sweeps or going through neighborhoods or anything like that. This is only for the people in our jails here in San Diego County.
And so Supervisor Desmond says the policy goes beyond state law requirements and limits law enforcement to work with Immigration and Customs Enforcement on deportations of individuals convicted of serious crimes. Now, the San Diego County Sheriff's Office has cited a government code that they believe authorizes law enforcement to cooperate with immigration authorities. So this has created sort of a conflict between the county's policy and Sheriff Kelly Martinez's desire in approaching to handling non-citizens in county jails. Meanwhile, acting chairwoman Tara Lawson-Remer, along with migrant advocates, argue that it could increase community trust and ensure immigrant communities feel safe and supported. Lawson-Remer also says the policy doesn't prevent the county from giving assistance to federal agencies if there's a suspected violation of the law. Now, if federal immigration authorities want county help in arresting a suspected criminal, they must first produce an arrested warrant. So back out here, again, that policy is back on the agenda this morning, so we'll have more details on this discussion about this sanctuary policy. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. Also this morning, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors will be voting on a notification system for recipients of federal aid like Medi-Cal and SNAP. Now, the system proposed by Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer would notify over 1 million people in San Diego if their benefits are cut.
Able to, at least the very least, to do the work to communicate with program recipients to let them know that the programs they've been relying on to eat, to see a doctor, to keep a roof over their heads are in imminent jeopardy.
This comes amid concerns about federal funding cuts to assistance programs. While no cuts are currently planned, the supervisor wants to ensure people have advanced notice if changes do occur. This morning, county supervisors also voting on the updating to the existing homeless encampment ban to include provisions that prevent wildfires. This applies to unincorporated areas. It would add protections to certain areas like open spaces and public works infrastructure, as well as a 24-hour notification period for people impacted. The ordinance already bans homeless encampments on public property. This comes 1 month after they voted to advance a separate proposal to clear encampments during red flag fire warnings.
And today, San Diego City Council members will revisit the controversial All People's Church project in Del Cerro. All People's Church is looking to build a 900-seat church as well as a parking structure on a site along the east side of College Avenue north of the 8. But the neighborhood group Save Del Cerro says they don't want the land to be rezoned and they're concerned about traffic. In January of 2024, city council members voted to deny the project's permits, citing the project's environmental impact report and traffic study. And today, the Grossmont Union High School District will meet and discuss possible layoffs. Staff members protested yesterday. Last month, the school's district's governing board approved a resolution to consider eliminating 49 positions, including librarians and child development center assistants. The board is trying to close a $2.4 million budget deficit. Staff whose positions may be eliminated for the following school year will receive notices by the end of the week, and that could be finalized in May. This morning, we have new video of the arrest of an alleged Lyft driver kidnapper. It happened in the parking lot of off-the-charts marijuana dispensary in Lemon Grove Sunday night. The sheriff's department received a text to 911. That was a message from a woman saying she was a Lyft driver and she reported being held against her will by a passenger she picked up in Spring Valley. Deputies say the passenger, 21-year-old Shane Capezio, told the driver he had a gun and ordered her to drive to the dispensary. That's where deputies detained him. The dispensary's owner saw the incident through surveillance video.
She was a little, I mean, it's a little bit shocking for anybody, especially a Lyft driver. It's an everyday job for, anybody, so definitely a shock.
Authorities say Capezio did not have a gun. He still faces multiple charges, including kidnapping, robbery, and false imprisonment. He will be in court tomorrow.
Another storm is bringing rain across San Diego here this morning. The city of San Diego says staff are monitoring over 46,000 storm drains. You can report flooding or downed trees through the Get It Done app or the number right there on your screen. You can also get bags to protect your property with more rain expected later this week. They are available at many CAL FIRE stations and City of San Diego rec centers. Some of them only offer the empty bags. You're also reminded to drive carefully. That includes slowing down, making sure your headlights are on, and never drive through a flooded street. Some good reminders here as we're starting off this storm, which is going to last over a couple of days off and on.
It's like two separate storms, one today into early tomorrow, another Thursday into Friday. And both of these storms are going to pack a punch, but Thursday has a little bit more impact expected. So here's what we have on hand right now. Satellite radar showing how there's actually already a little bit of snow up around the Palomar Mountain area. If we move off toward about Mount Laguna, Pine Valley, Julian area, there is still rain. And rain is going to be the primary culprit across our local mountains for today and tomorrow. It's more so Thursday that we expect that snow level to drop quite a bit. If we look at that first round of rain that arrived on shore, it was enough to wet the ground for sure. So watch out on the morning commute for those wet roads. Temperatures in the 60s this afternoon, both along the coast and inland. Low 50s for the mountains today and 60s for the desert. So let's talk about how much rain we will see in the forecast. Between now and about 10 p.m., we're adding about half an inch to our numbers. That means that Escondido's at 4/10, Ramona, Poway, all at 4/10, 8/10 for San Diego, and 7/10 for Chula Vista. These numbers will be added upon by the time we get through the day on Wednesday, but like we've talked about, Wednesday is just not expected to be all that intense of a day for us. It's going to be more scattered. It's going to be on the lighter end. There's going to be an opportunity for some of those clouds to break apart, but it's what we see from Wednesday into Thursday where that next storm arrives, and Thursday is going to really add on to these numbers. So we're all under an inch here for now all the way through late Wednesday night. But if we push this through Thursday night and into Friday, take a look at those numbers climbing by quite a bit. 2.5 inches possible in Poway, 2 inches in El Cajon, in Ramona, over 2 inches up at Palomar Mountain, out along the coast about 1.5 inches. So the storm that will arrive on Thursday will have likely more strength to it. The days following, so today into tomorrow, Thursday into Friday, we still have some of those scattered showers remaining, but our chance for wet weather starts to really decline by the upcoming weekend. And remember, like we've seen with pretty much all of these past storms this season, it comes along with wind as well. So rain, mountain snow, wind, all in the forecast. Today's storm is going to mainly be providing that wind out of the south, and you see it picking up to about the 20-mile-per-hour range. Tomorrow, we've got some more intense winds, and then Thursday is likely to bring about the most intensity with those gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour, mainly impacting our mountain and desert microclimates. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. It's light on the roads this morning, but what we do have is plenty of wet roads. So you should be slowing your speeds down as you head out for the morning commute. We earlier were taking you to this crash that was blocking the slow lane on the 5 southbound at Cesar Chavez Parkway. That is now cleared, but you can see how that road weather index is green across the board, meaning just keep it slow this morning. Take a look at your border wait times. It's a 105-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry, you should be able to get across about 15 minutes faster. It's going to take you an hour and a half.